All right, so I'm going to call to order the May 13th meeting of the... Wait, is it the 13th?
Today.
Today's May 13th? Okay.
Yes.
The May 13th meeting of the Whitman Aid to the Elderly and Disabled Taxation Fund. President Ryan Tressel, Chair.
Ken Layla.
Debbie Oberon.
John Galvin, guest.
Okay. There is no one here from the public, so we have no public comment. So the first agenda item is approval of the minutes of March 11th. Did you guys get a copy of those?
Yeah.
Courtesy of Mr. Galvin.
I make a motion we approve.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Okay.
Changes.
So the next agenda item is updates on donations.
Yes. So our donations in the account went down by $73 because we had an issue with the payment center that took in anyone who made a donation on their second quarter bill. On their third quarter bill, it turned up as a negative credit, as an I&E fine, as an I&E credit, due to a miscoding at the payment center. So we were getting all these payments in, and we're like, what's going on? Like, the people were like,
Wow.
So basically people were shorting their tax bill because they were paying the net amount. So we had to go back and figure out, I think we had about 47 people to reach out to and ask them, should we keep your tax bill short and you can make it up on the fourth quarter and keep your donation, or do you want to move your donation to your tax credit? So at the end, it ended up being a wash of $63 of a loss from previous donations to the account.
So is that corrected now going
So
forward?
yeah, so it's been corrected now going forward, and the processing center knows how to properly code them. But it was the strangest thing to
Wow.
see the bills coming in
Yeah.
with these negative I&E fines, which is not for residential for a start.
Right.
And then people were being so kind to make donations on top of so it was a bit of a mess. We've gotten it.
What does I&E stand for?
Income and expense. It's for
Okay.
commercial properties. It's
Oh,
a
I&E. Okay.
I&E,
Oh, okay,
yes,
I&E.
yeah,
I heard I-N-E, and I was trying to figure
yeah.
out the acronym. But
yeah.
okay.
No.
That makes sense.
So at the end of the day, the net result was the fund got shorted by $63 because people said
So
no.
what's the total in there?
So now the final total, correct total, is $4,780.94.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to our guest and friend, John Galvin from the Friends of the Women Aid to the Elderly and Disabled Committee Taxation Fund.
501c3 company.
Okay.
So we've been approved as a 501c3, which is great news. That got that last week. So that I actually, at the advice of our committee or our board, I was holding off doing any fundraising or any reaching out to any businesses locally, which is, as you guys all know from previous meetings, was a big thing for me. But I was told, wait, because businesses are going to want to make sure you're a 501c3 so that they can officially deduct it. So I'll be moving on to that real quickly. We also have the fundraiser that we had. As Deb was mentioning earlier, our March Madness fundraiser raised a little over $2,000. Nice. So we currently have a little over 2,600 in our account. We have one big fundraiser set up for June, and that's going to be a trivia night. I think I mentioned in a previous meeting that Ken Lytell has a secret life as a trivia master, and he's on our board. So Ken's going to be doing, we're going to be doing a trivia night on June 17th at the Knights of Columbus. Doors open at 6:30. Trivia begins at 7. We're looking for teams of up to 8. Doesn't have to be a team of 8, but up to 8. And any individuals that want to register, we can put them on a team. We also plan to have a 50-50 raffle at that event, as well as we're planning another basket raffle. The issue we have in raffles is we found out that in order to legally hold a raffle, you need to have a permit from the town of Whitman to hold a raffle, which I didn't know. So I went down to apply for a permit downstairs and was told that you have to be in business for 2 years before you can get a permit issued by the town. Yeah, that's what I did. I went, okay. So for the 50-50 raffle, we intend to get a permit through the Knights of Columbus, which they can do. The basket raffle, we're still trying to figure it out how we'll do that, but we'll figure it out anyway.
The Knights of Columbus has a lottery and a mass.
Yeah, so we can do
Yeah.
it. It's just a pain in the butt for them. You know, they've actually donated the hall to us.
Right.
So now we got to go back and say, oh, by the way, can you get can you get a raffle permit in so that we can hold a raffle there as well? But anyway, we'll see. He's a good guy over there, so
Larry, yeah.
yeah. So we'll see how that goes. So how much will we make? I don't know. It's hard for us to predict revenue, but I think hopefully between this and between hopefully getting business donations, we'll be able to step it up and at least double or maybe hopefully triple what we have right now, which, depending upon, we can continue. I know you guys are going to talk today, or we're all going to talk today about when we put the app out there, but theoretically we can fundraise all the way until it's time to hand out the money. So, we'll through the summer, through the fall even, we'll continue to go. And, on our board is the official raffle fundraiser master from the town of Whitman, and Michelle LaMattina. She's just amazing with the effort and hard work she puts in. And so I'm glad to have her on our team. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay. So as far as the when you say you have 2,600 in your account
Right now.
so that are there any expenses that you guys have? Is that 20? In other words, if I'm just doing math here about adding what we have, what the collector has received, and what you guys have.
I could write a check right now for what's entirely in our account.
Okay.
So that's not a problem. I mean, even with this, Ken's obviously on our board, so we don't have to pay for him. KFC has donated the hall to us. Maybe we might have a little bit of just getting stuff on tables and stuff, but I don't think so.
Okay.
I think pretty much everything we need KFC has. So that's good.
Okay. Again, I'm just hearing things because I know you said K of C, but I heard
Knights
KFC.
of Columbus.
I know
Knights
that.
of Columbus, yeah.
I heard KFC, and for a second I was like, wait.
Yeah. Okay,
For
free
folks listening
chicken,
at home,
free chicken when
it's
we're
going to be the Knights of Columbus.
Knights of Columbus to
Yeah.
be absolutely clear on the audio file, yes.
Yeah.
On June 17th, starting at 6:30, trivia starts at 7.
I am bummed because I have a school committee meeting that night.
Otherwise
I'd be there and I'd be mopping the floor with all of you. No, I used to do a lot of trivia nights, and I'm rusty, but I used to be very good. So, but I will not be able to be in attendance. So
too bad.
I will, unless my meeting gets out early. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much, John. The next item we have on here was Whitman Day. I know we had talked back in March about the potential of participating in Whitman Day, so I did look up the requirements. So one is they have an April 1st deadline to
So
register
can I
for
make
Whitman
this
Day.
quick?
Yeah.
We have the nonprofit has already applied and received, so we already have a table for Whitman Day. So my suggestion would be that we combine our efforts, considering if you guys have a table, you can't accept donations, but if we have a table, we can accept donations.
Okay.
So if, having you guys, whatever you want to do, that would be great because people can not only make donations, but they can also get a lot of questions answered. And obviously I plan to be there. I don't know if I can be there the entire day, but I'll be there most of the day. But having, you guys there as well, there's, the actual committee who's going to be, and I don't know exactly what you had in mind for that, but
I don't know. I think Heidi had mentioned it last time, so I put it on the agenda. But I was the things I was looking at. We have to provide our own table, and there was an April 1st deadline, so I was going to say that might not be feasible for us at this point.
I
but
missed the April 1st deadline too. But she did go through and set us up, so we're good there.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe we can coordinate as we get closer to. Although it's a month away now, but in terms of like when you're going to be there, and people in the committee being able to
So what do
donate.
you guys think? I mean, other than maybe have a sample of the application, I mean, answer questions. I mean, I know we were planning to fundraise,
Yeah.
so that's our whole plan, and maybe we want to have. I mean, I don't know, you guys. It's just answer questions, really.
I would say have a copy of the application, maybe with all the information that we had discussed, income and whatever else. When is Whitman Day? Second Saturday of
I think it's
June?
like June 11th. I think.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
June 11th?
Yeah,
Sure.
It's before our trivia night because we wanted to have.
Yeah.
Because the other thing we were going to do too is try to make a late push to get people to, sign up for the trivia night. So we decided to do the trivia night after Whitman Day.
Okay,
So I
no.
think it's the
That might
same.
be I think it's the 13th. I'm sorry.
13th, yeah, I was just going to say
Yeah.
second Saturday. Okay, that's what I'm just looking at, yeah. And that's usually 10 to 4, yeah. Unfortunately, I will not be able to help either one of yous because I will be with the fire department that day. With the cert.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see what double check the hours.
Yeah, I think it's 10 to 4 if I'm not mistaken.
Just to jump ahead a little bit, if we had this meeting, the next meeting on the 9th, that would be before Whitman Day, and we could kind of and Heidi would be here, can maybe finalize, but you can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's not a
yeah,
bad
that
idea.
might make sense, yeah.
There's also, I think, the second Wednesday in June, anyways.
Right.
So I think it's the 10th, right?
9th. 10th.
10th, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, yeah. So what we can do is we can on our June meeting we can kind of talk about logistics about what we want to have available in terms of we want to have the application there, a copy of the application, or and just somebody maybe from. I mean, I'm sure I could go for most of it, and answer people's questions as they come up. If there are individuals that are not there to make donations, but there to ask questions. Having someone from
Maybe set up a schedule on so that maybe somebody's there from 10 to 2 and somebody else is there from 2 to 5 or whatever. I mean, like I said, I'm hoping to be there the entire day, but.
All right. So next up is, I guess, discussion of the release of the application. I think we kind of tabled this for this meeting so we could talk about making sure that we would have funds to distribute before we. Now, obviously, like here, the friends are doing a trivia night, so hopefully that will bring in some money, and there'll be maybe some other donations. But now we have, based on my rough calculations, we're going to have at least $7,000.
I'm hoping I would set it at 10, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, because once I start reaching out to businesses, hopefully we'll get, more donations there, plus the trivia night. So, I mean, let's say just for ha-ha's sake, 10,000. I mean, I honestly think that's probably enough to not what we want, but
But even if we have $7,000 in hand, I feel like that's. I mean, obviously, you'd like to have more.
Yeah.
But 7,000 is something that we could make.
You could make work, yeah.
Well, say you get the 10. Are you going to hold any back? Like, are you planning on exhausting everything that you've...
I mean, there's no reason for us to hold anything back.
I'm just thinking, like, if you could invest it somehow.
Yeah, I mean, anything that we would need to front any expense on going forward, I'm happy to do that. And I can't imagine what that would be.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything we do is I mean, the March Madness pool was $25. I mean, I'll make that donation. I mean, so it's not an issue that I think the big expense we just had was the 501c3. And that's already in that amount, we paid that already. So there isn't anything with the state or with the federal government that we need to purchase. It'll just be whatever we need to do for future fundraisers. So I think we'll, maybe I'll leave $20 in the account, whatever minimum I need to leave in the account to not get penalized.
But even if you kept a few hundred in there for, any potential expenses, I mean, we're still talking $7,000.
It will all depend on what
Right.
what the bank says I need to keep a minimum in.
Yeah.
I mean, But I mean, we are a nonprofit, so I would think their regulations on that would be pretty easy to.
Right.
They're not going to say, "Oh, you got to keep $1,000 in there" or whatever. It's, if it's $10 just to keep the account open.
Now, out of curiosity, Ryan, what did you figure that we would give per application? Varies by individual, or would you stop it at 500, or?
I think that's really up to the committee as we.
Committee, okay.
I mean, I think that when I've done like I've worked on scholarship committees before.
Yeah.
And there was always a kind of debate about trying to spread it out as much among as many people as possible, or trying to make as big a difference as you could for. And I think that that's really going to be up to the individuals in the committee deciding how much we're going to give. I think that would because we could get
I think a lot depends on how many applications
how
you
many
get.
applications you get, and then also
how close they are and qualifying.
True.
So,
because there's a mindset which is that, well, can we give something to everybody? And there's another mindset being like, well, there are certain individuals that apply that are really close to not make be they're really close to that threshold that we've set,
Right.
and maybe that isn't going to make a big difference to them. But there's someone who's really really struggling, and then that would really be up to the vote, I think, of individual committee members and how we all vote. I don't know that we necessarily want to bind ourselves really by anything, because we want to, I mean, we could, and that's also too, when I think it's a conversation when Heidi's here too, about how you guys want to do that, because I think that's, I tend to view as being giving ourselves the least amount of restrictions possible in terms of, not setting any rules, being we're only going to give $500 out to people, because we could find someone that's really struggling,
Right.
and we could be in a position where we have a lot of money. We could be we could really make a difference for this family,
All right.
this individual. But then again, that would be really up to the committee itself, the four of us. So
True.
deciding how we want to disperse those funds. But I think leaving it up to us as we go, I think, is probably the way I would like to see it done. That way we have that flexibility.
No, okay.
Based on the circumstances of the people who apply. But
Do you want to make the application available after our June 9th meeting, or do you want to make it available, so that it's I think originally we said July 1st, but
yeah,
we'll
I know
have
that's.
June
I
9th.
mean, that's. So, my thought is this, and ultimately, obviously, up to a vote of us. But I think we had July 1st, but I also think that in my head, if there's going to be promotional material in the case of Whitman Day,
Right.
the idea that an individual might go see that and be like, oh, I want to go look at the application, I want to go download it, being able to do it after they see it, as opposed to being like, check on the website after July 1st, it'll be up. They might forget, they might lose that information.
True.
So I think that, I would recommend that we move to get it maybe up, before the 13th, so that folks that come by, and we can even, granted, this is
For the 13th of June?
13th of June, yeah.
Okay.
So that before Whitman Day, so that anyone that comes by could go home that day and be like, I'm going to go download that application right now and get, as opposed to being then they have to remember to do it 3 weeks later when it's July 1, having it available. So I think that way,
So I'm going to tie this into that the website itself hasn't been touched since it was initially set up by Josh.
Yeah.
And I'm still listed as chair, and there's an email address there that I don't think anybody's ever has access to. I don't know if you got access to it yet or not.
No.
So it's a good opportunity if we're gonna. And then Josh did do the application and made it fillable for us.
Okay.
So we could tell him to get it online, and also can you make the following changes, and can you get Ryan access to, because there could be, who knows if there's emails sent
Yeah.
to that email address that
Nobody's
it's
answering.
just sitting there, you know,
Yeah.
and you can check that. So I'd be happy to reach out to you, Ryan, and Josh, and we can get that set up.
So does he have? I know that because we obviously voted on a final application, but is the one that you sent me the fillable one, or does Josh have that?
Josh sent it back to us, so
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I have it in my email.
Okay.
So, and I'm pretty sure I posted it up on OneDrive.
I don't think I tried to.
Yeah, so I'll take it.
Enter it in.
I'll look at that when I get home right now,
Okay.
Yeah.
and make sure I can find that. But I'm pretty sure I saved it, and I thought I put it into the OneDrive to replace what was there. But I'll confirm that. I'll do that when I.
Yeah, and then once you do that, I can reach out to Josh, and I'll probably do it either later today or tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
Give him plenty of time so that it can be, give him.
And then I'll take a look at the website too, and just any things that I see that need to get updated. I don't think much other than, getting access to that email and
Yeah.
also changing who's chair.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I'm still listed there.
And then
He's the last.
if I email him, today or tomorrow, and he puts it up at the end of the week, I don't think it matters. I don't think there's
Nobody's gonna look.
No one's gonna look.
Yeah.
And then we can almost view. We can talk about this on the 9th too. But we almost view like Whitman Day as being like the official kind of grand opening
That's a good
of
idea. There
the
you go.
application
Right.
because
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
then there's this kind of like
Yeah. Gives people a reason to come over.
right.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true too.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
we can and they can ask questions, and like we can have a sample application there, a couple sample applications we can get printed out so people can look at it and see.
Happy to print those. I've always told you that.
What?
I said I'm happy to print
Okay.
applications. So
Okay.
so not a problem.
Yeah, so we can, and like obviously we can talk logistics at our next meeting, but I think that might be a way to kind of tie it into a big town event,
Yeah.
to publicize it and stuff, and bring people over to get information, but also maybe bring people over hopefully to donate as
Right.
well to the friends, and
It's almost the most important thing.
that is the most important thing. Yeah,
Shh, don't say that. It is.
yeah. All right. So I think all right. So I'll work with John and Josh to get the application just ready and up on the website, so it'll be ready to go for June and Whitman Day. And so I think the next item on our agenda is we already talked about. I think we set our next meeting date, the 10th, which is the second Wednesday in June, anyways, at 10:30, and then we can talk kind of finalize plans for our effort on Whitman Day to publicize the release of the application and help our friends at the Friends get some donations as well. Does that work? Does that date work for you guys as well?
The 10th.
The 10th, yep.
Oops, give me a minute. Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll do. So we'll see you guys on June 10th at 10:30. And with that, I think we've exhausted our agenda. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you guys very much.